I like using this styrofoam. It's just the regular insulation foam that you buy from Lowe's. And I have glued it together, 5 pieces together. And then I've laid down my pattern onto the styrofoam side and using a hot foam knife to cut through the foam. Much easier than trying to saw it. And as I do this, I get the rough shape first, and then I kind of sculpt it out as I begin to envision what this dragon is actually going to look like. Okay, I thought perhaps I would show you how to mix the flour and water for the paper mache. And it's a very simple process. Just use flour. I'm just going to scoop some in here. That's about all I'm going to do for to work for about 4 or 5 hours. Um, so now I'm going to add the water. Stir that around a little bit, and I may have to add a little bit more. It feels a little thick. See, it's got a little bit of texture to it. Oh, yeah, it's way thick. I don't really worry about the lumps in the flour because as I work, um, those lumps will come out. They will dissolve. The first step is in this paper mache process is to make sure that there is an even um, shield of paper mache all over the foam, so that the when I begin to apply these scales, there's something there to stick to. So I'm just taking one sheet of strips of newspaper, dipping them into the paper mache, squeegeeing them out between my fingers, and then applying them to the foam. Okay, today we're going to be doing several things to this paper mache that we worked on yesterday. The initial layer of paper is on. Sometimes you get a little bit of like that happening. Um, but that won't matter because we're going to coat this again with another layer. And this time a much more careful layer of folded paper that will represent the scales and the alligator skin around the snout and on the forehead. We're also going to be drilling the mounts for the wall hanging, and that will get us out of the way first because we don't want to smash the scales as we work. So that's what we're going to do today, and it's all going to be time lapse. So I'm going to end what I'm going to be saying, and you're just going to watch a silent movie. Uh, Enjoy. To achieve the scale look, I cut my strips of paper into about a 2.5 to 3 inch square. And then I dip that piece of paper into the paper mache sauce and fold it into a triangle and then apply it to the dragon sculpture. And then I just build up the scales one at a time until I get the look that I want. I, of course, stagger the scales, and you can see in the video that it applies one over the top of the other. To insert the eyes, the glass eyes from the taxidermies, I first cut a hole, and then around the hole I use a substance called Magic Sculpt, which is an epoxy resin. You'll want to use gloves. Here I'm twisting some wire, and I'm going to push this wire into the foam, into each side of the face of the dragon, and that's going to form the basis for the flange that comes out of the dragon's jaws. Uh, and then I put rolls of paper over the top of that, and then link that with strips of paper, and then over the top of the strips of paper, I will apply some cheesecloth. Day 3, I'm going to be applying some cheesecloth to the flaps of the ears to give that really rough dragon texture. And then over the top of that, I will apply some modeling paste to give it a uniform look like it really belongs there. On the face, I want to use like an alligator skin texture. So I'll transition from my triangles of scales to a hexagon type of shape for the scales on the face. And that'll give it a nice alligator feature, an alligator texture to the face. Time to paint. This is my favorite part. I'm going to use a dry brush technique, but first, in order to do the dry brush technique, I must lay down a nice solid black all over the subject. And then once I have the black on, I will take my dry brush and very lightly put it into the silver or metallic colors, the bronze color, and lightly touch onto the subject, onto the scales, and that gives it a nice metallic feel to it. That's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something.